I got that callous.
What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, and welcome to the second video in a series I'm doing with my good friend AAron2420. Go ahead and say hi.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo soy AAron2420.
You know, I'm Canadian, so I didn't learn Spanish.
Oof. That's
Anyway.
like the extent of my Spanish. After 5 years.
Hey, if I wanted to, I could try and speak French right now, and it would not be good. I live in a French province, and I don't speak good French. It's not a good sign.
No, it is not.
Anyways,
we're not here to speak multilingual languages. We're here to discuss.
Yeah, and it's the second part of this Sword and Shield discussion, and it's the final part of it, for us at least, for now. But if you guys missed the first part, you can go and check it out. It's going to be on Aaron's channel. The link is in the description, just like his channel and his Twitter and his Twitch will be. He's an awesome content creator and a great friend, so please go and check him out. I would really appreciate it, and I know he would be very thankful because he loves the people in the MattOshea group.
MattOshea group is almost as good as the AAron2420 group, but it's still a very, very good group nonetheless.
Both are top 2 groups.
Exactly. Those are facts.
Anyway, so what did we cover last time, Aaron, on your video?
On my video, we had discussed things such as new abilities, new mechanics in general for battles, and new forms, including Megas, and also Z-Moves, because that was another mechanic that was released in Gen 7. And on this video, Matt, what are we going to be discussing?
Well, today we're going to be mostly covering new types, new moves, and new items. And it's going to be completely based on competition, the competitive aspect, thank you, of Pokemon, because we are both mostly competitive players, whether it's Smogon laddering or Draft League or VGC in your case. So I think it'd be really cool to get it from this perspective.
Yes. So luckily for Matt, I bring the doubles perspective to this as well. Now, I haven't played doubles in a while, but I still do know a lot about it. So we can get a very diverse group of ideas that can cover all of your needs if you're coming from some sort of other competitive community. We got you guys here.
Yep, we got you. So, Aaron, what do you want to start with? Moves, typings, items?
Let's start with typings. I think that's what we had first on both our lists.
So go for it.
So the type that I want most, everything else on my list is by far below this. The thing that I want most in general in Sword and Shield, let alone typing wise, is a Fire Fairy type. I just want a Fire Fairy. Give me it.
It's such a good type. It's such a good type.
Like they can make it similar stats to Delphox, and that would easily be an OU mon if they gave it Fire Fairy. That's all I want. Just Fire Fairy type. Make it happen, Game Freak.
Fire Fairy is an awesome type, and I think it's definitely because it's got Fire, which is already an amazing offensive typing, and then Fairy, which is both an amazing offensive and defensive typing. So I think the pairing would just fit beautifully.
Like, in general, something that Fairy types struggle a lot with is Steel types, so just give it Fire typing that now covers Steels. Fire can't touch Dragons, Fairy type handles that. Bam.
Be a really good offensive mon, but watch like Game Freak make a Fire Fairy type and be completely defensive.
Oh god, no, don't poison me with that. No, I don't need that. I don't need that. Give it like Flare Blitz and Play Off. Make it physical too. I want a physical Fire Fairy. That would be awesome. Cool. Because obviously a special Fire Fairy, I wouldn't complain. It would be pretty cool. It would have like Flamethrower and Moonblast. Unless if it gets the Togekiss treatment, it gets only Dazzling Gleam, which in that case, grr. But they need I prefer a physical Fire Fairy. There's not a ton of good physical fire types. It's really just like Blaziken and Burnape. And it's really
Darmanitan, Bikini.
Darmanitan, well, Victini is another one. I was gonna say Darmanitan, Entei, kinda. I don't really count them personally. They're meh. But at the very least, Victini, Zardex, Blaziken, Burnape, and then kind of Emboar, Entei, Darmanitan, and that's really it. They need a really good Fire Fairy type that's physical, though. I feel like that would help a lot. Because a lot of good Fire types, things like Moltres, well, I guess Talonflame's also okay on the physical end, but things like Moltres, for example.
Talonflame's not the best.
Yeah, I was like, Talonflame's not the best. Victini's still mixed, Infernape's still mixed. Blaziken still has good special attack. Charizard Y is great, especially. They have Moltres, which is great, especially for low tier, especially. Delphox, again, another good low tier special Fire type. There are a lot of good special Fire types. Even if they're low tier mons, they're still putting a lot of work for their tier. Whereas physical, there's not the best, and also, again, the fact that a lot of them kill themselves off really quickly and they're frail. Something like a Fire Fairy, though, that was physically offensive would be great. Save the metagame.
So what else did you have on your new types list?
Well, in terms of new types, half of my new types are Fire types that I wanted, because these are more so hopes for the starter. Now, I don't think any of these are likely, especially my last one. But Fire Fairy, I think, is the most likely, and I think it's the one I want by far most. Fire Ice is another really cool type I want. They gave us Fire Water finally, and I genuinely did not think we were going to get that typing, if I'm being completely honest. And Volcanion's an awful mon to get it. Now, I kind of wish it was a little bit better, but I mean, players can't be choosers. So, Volcanion, great candidate for Fire Water, but we need a Fire Ice typing. Now, I get this thing would instantly die to any sort of hazards, but I think that it could be a really cool mon in general. I mean, Volcarona makes being 4 times the hazards work. Why can't a Fire Ice typing? Especially with that typing. That typing alone is scary.
Like, I feel like there's not very many mons that resist that combination. Like, fire types obviously do, but I feel like after that, it's what? Like, water? And that's it? Fire and water types?
Yeah, I think that actually might be it. Because, well, actually, rock too. Because that typing alone would handle dragons, would handle grounds, would handle steels, it would handle a lot of really prominent types. And of course, things like fighting would be neutral, so that's, if this is a really offensive mon, I could probably handle a lot of fighting types. I think in general, though, just like a really glass cannon sort of mon, something built similar to like an Infernape or a Greninja would be great for this typing. It would be phenomenal.
Yeah, like I'm looking up now, the only things that resist it are fire types and water types. That's it.
Oh, so rock isn't?
No, rock. I don't think rock resists ice.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, that's even better. They can give if they give this thing a magic guard, that would be so amazing. This thing would be broken if they get magic guard.
Yeah, no, not taking 50% from rocks on entry. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's already a buff for it as it is, let alone that typing. They could even give this thing like 90 in both offenses at that point, it would still be amazing.
Yeah, so what other fire type combination do you have?
So the last fire type combination I had would be Fire Grass. Now, at the very least, bare minimum, this would not happen for the starter, so Square Buddy already is taking an L in that regard. But in general, Fire Grass type would be really cool. There have been already a lot of ways discussed that this could be implemented. Things like, for example, like a Chili Pepper Pokemon would be great. They can, in general, make just something. They can make it work. Game Freak, they made a lot of weird things.
The crazy thing is that Fire Grass actually hits better offensively than Fire Ice does.
Yeah, that's another thing. Realistically, it would just be Dragon, I think, that persists.
Dragon Fire, that's
Dragon Fire, so that would be it. So I guess, I mean, to be fair, I guess it kind of evens out. Personally, I think that Fire Ice hits a little bit more of the typings that are prevalent better, and considering it's Dragon, which is very prevalent typing, even with fairies. But they would still be both very good offensive typings, and these would help make Fire a lot more of a staple in the metagame. Because right now, if you look at the metagame, it's essentially the really staple Fire types are, in terms of draft, Infernape, Megazards, Victini, Volcarona. Those are like the really big ones. Of course, there are some lower tier ones, but they don't necessarily like scare you in prep. Besides those 5, like a Fire Ice or Fire Grass or Fire Fairy, that would be another terrifying one to prep for.
Yeah, like I've gone to the point where it's like I don't feel like I should be drafting a fire type with all of my drafts, and people are like, you have to draft a fire water grass core. It's part of draft league. I'm just there like, I don't like many fire types competitively, so.
There are very few that I like. I think I can count them on both my hands. It would be Infernape, Megazards, Volcarona. I'm not a fan of Victini, but I do admit it's a good mon. Talonflame, Moltres, and I think that's it, to be honest. Those 6 would... Oh yeah, regular Blaziken. That's the last one I would include on my list. I would not touch Simisear. I don't care how much I'm trying to meme. I would not touch that thing with a... I wouldn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole.
Okay, well, I think that's enough discussion on the fire types, at least. So, the next type, for me, at least, this was one on my list. I don't think it was on your list. It's Ground and Fairy.
Ooh, that's something I actually did miss that, but that's a really good typing.
It'd be really cool. Immunity to Electric, immunity to Dragon. It's got really good, like, Ground is an amazing offensive type. A lot of Pokemon that are immune to Ground, either flying types or, like, mons with Levitate, and a lot of Dragons end up having Levitate. Latias, Latios, Flygon, so firing off Stab, Moonblaster, Stab, Play Roughs, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. That typing in itself would be so deadly. In terms of, I would say I missed that entirely. There was tons of good fairy combinations that I completely overlooked. Besides Fire Fairy, but that would be really cool.
I think it's also only weak to Ice, Water, Grass, and then Steel. Because I think
that's a few types.
Well, it's 4 types. It's not that bad because it's all the ground weaknesses, and then it takes away one of the fairy weaknesses in Poison. So that's pretty cool.
That would be a really cool typing in general. I think that a mon like that could be really deadly. In terms of ground typings, the only ground typing I had on my list actually was a fighting ground type. I've wanted this for years. This would be, in my opinion, one of the deadliest offensive typings, because fighting and ground, in my opinion, are the 2 best offensive typings, pair them together, I don't know how much it would offer coverage-wise necessarily, but there are very few mods that want to switch in either typing alone, so I don't think that it would necessarily be a bad typing, I guess. It would be a cool mod in general, I guess.
It'd be really interesting to see what they would use for the design, because fighting types are usually more like limber and they can kind of move around and have a lot of like movement, I guess. But then ground types are kind of like stuck in the mud almost. So I want to see how they would kind of use that and make it. I could see like a Sandman type Pokemon.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah. So my other types that I have 2 types here that are based on the poison type, and so I'll go. The first one is poison and steel. I think it's not very likely to happen, but I think it's a really cool combination because obviously it forces resist fairy, and that's a really strong type in the metagame. And I think having something like this that could have 100% accurate toxics, be really bulky, and at the same time hit things really hard, it'd be really cool. Obviously, its force is weak to ground, so that hurts, but I don't think it's that big of a deal when we see Pokemon like Heatran do so well when their Fortune's weak to ground.
Yeah, I agree. That would be another cool candidate for Salazzle's signature ability being Corrosion. I feel like, considering it's a Poison and a Steel type, it would have a way to get through Steel, in my opinion. So, makes sense. That would be a really cool option for that.
The other Poison type I have is a combination of Poison and Psychic. Ooh. And to me, it's very interesting because Psychic is usually a very fat typing. I think all the time we look at Psychics and think, especially if they're bulky, I should Toxic that. So now you can't Toxic it, so that's why I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
that defensively would be a really scary typing, actually, considering Poison would lose its weakness to Psychic in general, which is great. That would be the only weakness lost, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that would also give it a T-Spike immunity, which for a mod that's a typically fat typing like a Psychic type, that would be really scary.
I think it'd be weak to Dark, Ghost, and Ground, and I think that's it.
Oh yeah, I think Poison was just bugs. That would so that would be another typing loss, actually. So in general, the only 3 weaknesses, that's a really good defensive typing as it is. The fact that it's immune to Toxic, that'd be an amazing mod in my opinion. Just don't give it Levitate, please don't.
No, that'd be bad.
It could be a great T-Spike immunity.
You have another one on your list, and we both have this one on your list, so go ahead and mention it.
So the last typing that I had on my list, this is typing that Matt had as well, and Electric Dark typing. That, in my opinion, is something that needs to happen. They should have given it to Luxray already, to be honest. Yep. But Electric Dark, it's just such a cool typing. It doesn't necessarily offer anything for either type, but it's just a cool offensive typing. Like, knockoff, this thing can get knockoff, you can get, like, Volt Switch. It would be a great mixed attacker, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree completely. I think Luxray was the perfect mod for it, but the fact that it didn't get it, I think something like maybe like a Thundercloud Pokemon would be pretty cool.
Yes, that would be great. Oh yeah, that would have been another great candidate. Thundurus.
Thundurus, you're right. There you go. And the other type that I had that's also electric type is electric fighting. And this should have been Zeraora, but...
Yes, I agree. That should have been Zeraora. Missed opportunity, Game Freak.
Missed opportunity. And that's pretty much what we have for the typings. So do you want to move on to moves now?
Yes, so some moves... I think at the very least I have a lot of interesting moves. I like Matt's suggestions for moves as well. But I'm looking forward to discussing this especially. Matt, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing I'm just going to say is we right now have Volt Switch, U-Turn, Parting Shot, and Baton Pass. I want at least one more momentum gaining move, preferably one that does damage still. So I don't know what type it would be, but I think it'd be really cool to have another one just to give a bit more unique Pokemon access to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that in general, there's very limited momentum giving moves compared to how many Pokemon there are. There's obviously a lot of mons that can give momentum, but compared to the total pool, I think it's maybe like under 20%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It's not a lot, especially not a lot of viable mons. Like if you look at U-turns or Volt Switchers, you surprisingly start to get limited. Like you think, there's a lot of good ones like Scizors, any electric type pretty much gets momentum, but you look at it and then you start to realize that pool is actually kind of slim. So I agree, more momentum boosts would be really cool, even if they were just like, for example, maybe it gave or even like a reverse Parting Shot where it lowered defenses instead of offense. That would be something really cool.
That'd be scary.
Idea. That would be awesome.
It'd be scary too though, like Parting Shot or whatever this new Parting Shot would be into something like a Banded Mon, and like you just did that against like a wall, then that thing's just getting busted through.
I would say, because no wall's really going to be scared of Parting Shot, but it's a really terrifying move for offense. That would be a way to give defense a real scare for their, just in general, just nice scare tactic for a defensive mon, just having an inverse Parting Shot.
100%. What did you have on your list?
So the first thing that I had on my list, and this is a big one, for anyone who's ever tried to click Stone Edge Rock Slide in general, especially Rock Slide. You VGC players know what I'm talking about. It's either flinching or missing, but a 100% accurate rock type move that would be physical. Technically, special has Ancient Power, which is a bad move, but they also have Power Gem. And while it's not a widely distributed special rock move, it nonetheless is still a 100% accurate one. There's no special rock move that misses. So why is it that every single physical rock move misses? Rollout misses, Rock Slide misses, Stone Edge misses, Head Smash misses, which especially you'd think that Head Smash would miss at least, but it is what it is. They need a 100% accurate physical rock move. Even Rock Wrecker, Rhyperior's signature move, misses. Give us a physical that hits all the time. That's all I want. I don't care if it's base 70 base power. I just want a physical rock move that always hits.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, what power would you give it? And to me, like obviously because Stone Edge has high chance to crit, Rock Tomb lowers speed, Rock Slide can flinch, so they all have extra little bonuses. I think if you do make this move because Rock is such a good typing, or it's being pushed as such a good typing because it's got all these moves that can miss, I think not giving it a secondary effect is going to be something that happens.
I'd be perfectly fine with like a base 80 rock move that doesn't miss, has no special effects.
Yeah,
That's all I want. I don't want anything crazy like a base 120 move that doesn't miss. I think that's understandable. But like even a base 80 move that just didn't miss, didn't have any bonuses, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, that works.
So it's spread too.
So spread damage too would be really good for, again, VGC.
Yeah, because it's doing less damage with spread anyway, so that's already nerfing spread. But like that would be perfectly fine. I don't see any reason. Like Rock Slide 75 damage and has a chance to flinch and miss. I think that balances itself.
Yeah, it's a pretty good balance. So I think that's a really strong option. It's more, I think it's the most specific option that we have on this list for the, but for me, the next, I guess, box I want checked off is more special priority because we have tons of physical. The only one that are special is Vacuum Wave and Water Shuriken, and Water Shuriken started off as being physical. So just one more, just give me, like, I don't think we have a fire priority move. Give me a fire priority move that's physical, or special rather, sorry.
Yeah, fire and grass special priority moves would be great, in my opinion. Especially because then all the starter typings have them. Even if it's not like a widely distributed move, I agree it would be a really cool idea. Because physical has Ice Shard, which is very widely distributed, Quick Attack, which is widely distributed, Fake Out, E-Speed, Lock Punch, Aqua Jet,
Shadow Sneak.
Again, all these physical priority options. I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken.
There's tons more. Like there's too many to count.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sucker Punch is another one. Point is, there's a ton of physical priority, and they're all widely distributed options. Whereas Water Shuriken, the only two mons that get it are Greninja and Accelerator. That's it. And then the only other one is Vacuum Wave, which is still, it's more distributed.
13 Pokemon.
Yeah, say 13 Pokemon. That's very slim movable. It's more distributed than Water Shuriken, but it's very slim. So I agree, special priority would be great. I think it would be amazing, to be honest.
Oh, sorry, it's more than 13 Pokemon, but it's like the ones that can actually use physical offense, or sorry, special offense. Yeah, it's like 13.
It's a very slim move pool to put into perspective. Okay, put in Vacuum Wave to Showdown. A lot of these mons, there's very few.
Yeah, I'm running Vacuum Wave Machop.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna run Vacuum Wave Hariyama or Vacuum Wave Machamp. So the viable ones are very slim.
Yep. So what did you have for your last move?
Well, I should have two more options. One is a very, very quick one. Buff Giga Drain to base 80. It's base 75 right now. Leech Life is base 80. Drain Punch. Oh yeah, buff Drain Punch to base 82. Point is, just make all the Drain moves base 80. I think Leech Life being base 80, whereas the others aren't. It's a little weird. Just make them all base 80.
Drain Punch is 75.
Yeah, I would say I just remember that Drain Punch was 75, but like Leech Life is base 80. It drains the same amount. Just make them all base 80. It's a small buff, but it would be great. And then finally, the last thing that I had move-wise was a damaging move. It would essentially be like Rain Dance or Electric Terrain, but it's instead of 5 turns with 8 with the items, make it 3 turns with 5 turns with the items, and have it also do like base 70 damage. I think that would be really cool. It would be like, so like for example, it would be like Rain Dance, but it sets weather for less turns, but it also has this base 70 water move. I think that would be really cool.
I think that's kind of strong, those base 70. I think bring it down to like base 50 would make it more like possible.
Honestly, even base 50 or 60, I'd still use that move, to be honest. It's at least hitting something. Because it would, realistically, it would probably set the move after it used the effect. So it would be base 70 water move. So it'd essentially be hitting like slightly stronger than Water Pulse, and then it would set the effect. So it wouldn't get the boost from Rain doing that necessarily.
It would be just like Munimzia's, where it's like, hits you with the Genesis Supernova, then the after effects is that there's rain.
I would say that's literally where I got the idea from, actually. So I think something like that would be just really cool.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. So our last item on the docket is items. So what is your most in-demand item?
Alright, by far, this should have been done years ago. I want a Trick Room and Tailwind extending item. Just give it to me. Simple as that.
Same.
It makes no sense we don't have one.
Like the fact that you have soft sand and soft rock, or was it sandy rock? Smooth rock, thank you, and damp rock and heat rock, all these things, it makes weather a really viable strategy, especially in singles. In doubles, the games are a little bit shorter, much fewer turns, but having the ability to run weather as a strategy is super important, and it's strong in a lot of different situations. But not having that ability for Trick Room or Tailwind really makes them seem like they're second class.
They're really niche strategies because of it.
Yeah.
Like there's a way to extend screens, there's a way to extend weather, a way to extend terrain. Yet there's no way to extend Trick Room or Tailwind. Just give it to us already.
Yep. So after that, for me, at least one thing that I want back is the different type gems from Gen 5. We have like Poison Gem and, well, now Fairy Gem, Flying Gem. I think the only we have is Normal Gem. And I get that it's strong. I think lowering the power that it adds, instead of making it being 1.5 power, make it to like 1.3. That would make it a lot less powerful, and at the same time would still be able to pop something like Unburden and still be able to, I guess, lower the damage of knockoff after it's used. I think it have a lot of really cool uses outside of just doing more damage.
I mean, even then, you have to think about it. There's only one use from gems. It's not like you can recycle it, so it would be a one-time use thing. And while, of course, for Flying Gem, that would be a really scary thing for a lot of flying types, like Hollow Bleacher, for example, can run Flying Gem and be really, really amazing. But I think that in general, though, the fact that it's only a one-use thing, not many Pokemon will use it. I think Hollow Bleacher could use it, but it's not going to necessarily be more broken than like running Electric Seed.
I think it was run all the time back in Gen 5, and now it's like...
Well, yeah, but before then, though, don't forget, you also didn't have Z-moves in Gen 5, you didn't have Megas in Gen 5, so a whole different thing in Gen 5. I feel like now, because of like Megas being a nice power creep, you have Z-moves, which are, again, like a one-time, much harder hitting option. I feel like the gems would really only be used for, like, Flying Gem would be used a lot. I feel like that would be a great option. But other than that, I can't see a lot of instances where you'd run it unless you already have a Z-Mon. And it wouldn't necessarily be more broken than a Z-Mon.
So it's not that broken in general, so I don't see why Game Freak couldn't be like, yeah, here you go, you can have them back, go ahead.
I mean, at the very least, it's still not a bad idea. I think that even if you did nerf them to 1.3, that's still a solid idea. And at the very least, it would make them much less good than they are, but it would still be a competitive item. But I do agree, though, that gems definitely do need to come back. I completely forgot about that as well, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, so next up, though, you have something that I was thinking about when I first heard of this item, and kind of wondered why it wasn't in the game, but now I kind of understand why, but you have it here. So what is this item?
I want a physical assault vest. Simple as that. It makes no sense we don't have it. It's essentially the same argument for a Trigger and Tailwind item. We have had an assault vest since Gen 6. Give us a physically defensive one, Game Freak. Simple as that.
I think the only time we're going to get a physical assault vest is if we get a special Intimidate and a special status.
I sadly think that's the only time we're going to get it, but like, why not just give us all of those? Simple.
I don't know. I guess they want to make sure that special is the strongest typing.
By far.
Anyways, next up though, for me at least, I'm just going to try and get back to my list, an adaptability item. Let me try it again. An adaptability item. But it works kind of like a choice item, where you can only use your stab moves, and you're locked into them. But you get like an adaptability boost. I think that'd be really interesting, but not very likely to happen. I thought it was just something cool to mention, and we can leave it at that. It's not that.
I think it would be a cool thing, but it's sort of one of those things that'd be like, yeah, let's break the game with this real quick.
I mean, imagine adaptability Dragalge with this adaptability item.
I think that the only way to make that competitive is you're also locked into the move you're clicking, and it has to be a stab move.
Yeah, so that's what I was bringing it to.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, because if you just could only click stab moves, I can bring, like, for example, on an Infernape, I can bring Overheat, well, I can bring, like, Flare Blitz plus Close Combat and just spam those so effortlessly. Nothing would take that. Well, very few things would take that.
Yeah, that's fair. So I guess just locking it in like a choice band.
So it would need to also lock it in. I think that if you did that, it would at least be a competitive item. It would still be really good, but it would be competitive.
Yep. And what is your last item on the list?
The last item that I have, I mentioned this, like, an ability for this in my side of the video. Hint, hint, you should check that out as well. But yep. I want an item that makes all priority just neutral for that mod. So, like, for example, let's say I have a Suicune that holds this item. And Suicune is actually one of the reasons I thought of this mod. Suicune's a common mod that you can run things like Roar on, for example. Also, like, Whirlwind Zap... Well, Roar Zapdos, I don't remember if he gets Whirlwind or not. The point is, mods like that are common mods to just phase out hits, or if a Vaporeon can always hold this item, and it would make it so that way then you're really just relying on speed here. So, for example, let's say you're fighting a Combine Reuniclus, and you could very well die with Thunderbolt this turn with your Suicune, but if you're holding this item, you're not going to you will now outspeed it, and be able to just click 4. So assuming it wasn't smart and click Trick Room beforehand to then start spamming setup and kill you off with, that Reuniclus is gone, and you no longer have to worry about it. You can get a couple more turns to gain HP back, or actually you wouldn't be able to gain HP back because you wouldn't have leftovers, but you can still at least stall for a little bit more turns, you know, get the setup away and have turns to then counterplay it. So I feel like something like that in general would just be really cool.
I love the concept for it. I think having an ability is even better, and if you guys want to hear our thoughts on that, then you're going to have to check out AAron's video on his channel that we did together. And yeah, do you have anything else you want to bring up about any items, moves, types?
Honestly, as long as they give us something from this list, I think that'd be really cool. I think there's some that are more likely than others. I don't think any of the items, sadly, are likely, even though they really should be items. I think that at bare minimum, if they even just gave me a 100% physical accurate rock move, I'd be content. I'd be content if they only give us that, to be honest. I just want something that's not Stone Edge.
So that's your preference. That's the one thing out of this list you like. You know what? I want this.
I mean, to be fair, the thing I want the most would honestly be Fire Fairy, but that physical rock move is a really close second. Okay,
for me, it's definitely the Fire Fairy, and then it's like the Trick Room Extender. I think those are the two for me.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, if they even just gave us a couple things from this list, Sword and Shield would be a very fun competitive meta.
And I'm hoping that they do focus a lot on the competitive side, because with Let's Go, it was just hand-holding. So
they said that was more so just a casual game, so I think that this would be a great way to just make it a really competitive meta, even if it just make me want to play VGC again. That's all I ask. Just make me want to play VGC again, and I'll be content. Yeah. Be a happy boy.
Anyways, that's the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like on the video, and of course subscribe to my channel and to AAron's channel, which will be linked in the description, just like his Twitter and his Twitch page as well. He streams quite often, does a lot of draft league stuff, does also some showdown laddering, and he does these discussion videos too. So yeah, or does it now. Do you want to say anything else?
No, I think that we covered everything.
Well, yeah, thanks for coming to AAron's TED Talk, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you later.